All right, well, it is Monday morning. We are down around Cincinnati. Got the gooseneck on. Have both of those light towers on. We're going to get those delivered on this trip also. Got 2 stops to make here in Cincinnati to pick up. After we get that done, we'll have 3 deliveries. And then we're going to reload down in Paducah at the job site. And we got a delivery back here to Cincinnati. So that's what's happening. We're just about to the first pickup, get it picked up, and then get to the second one and so forth and keep on trucking. So we'll show you what we get probably on the second load or on the second pickup. I'll show you everything that we have and we'll make this happen. Make some dollars this week. All right, real quick what we have here. We've got some spreader pipes. Have 8 of those. Those are 28 foot long. We have the 2 Sunbelt light towers that we picked up, one in Marysville and the other one was in Kentucky. This Sunbelt light tower, this is the one that was brought out of Wisconsin that another driver brought down, and then of course I get it now and then I'll take it to the job site. I got a skid of hose here. This will go down to Paducah. All the light towers go down to Paducah, and these spars will go to Spotsville, Kentucky. Thought we were going to go to Mount Vernon, Indiana, but that's not happening. That's not a load. Oh, we also have these racks here that also go to Paducah. So that's what we have. Get on the road here and make this happen today. All right, we are in Indiana and we just peeled a tire. Watch y'all. Still got air in it. Didn't blow it, just peeled the tread. So we'll get her jacked up, get her swapped out, and get back on the road. All right, so the reason that I took so long putting the lug nuts on here, when this trailer was bought new, it came with this style stud on it. It's a Dexter axle. They're supposed to be either a 1/2 inch stud or a 9/16 stud through Dexter. It's all American made, but for some reason, these studs that are on this trailer are metric. The problem with them are they are soft, really soft. I hauled a boat down to Florida and I ran into this issue and I actually had forgotten about it until I started taking these off. You see how these are chrome or, you know, whatever. This is what I switched over to when I was in Florida. Okay, that's the stud that you're supposed to have on the Dexter axle right there. So that is American-made hub with American-made equipment in the hub. Okay, so that's metric, that's standard. It's supposed to be that, but for some reason this trailer came with this. And once you change the tire or pull your stud off, the threads in here, not only on the nut's real soft, but also the stud itself is real soft, and it starts pulling the threads. You can see some of the threads are pulled there on each side. I tried running it on backwards to clean the threads up, and then just to get me by. I've got 7 out of 8 on. We're going to get this delivered. Once we get back, we'll down the trailer and I will end up replacing the other 3 hubs on this trailer. So I want all Dexter stuff. Now, when I was down in Florida, I put all new bearings, everything in this side right here, just to make sure it was Dexter. And I didn't do the rest. That's my fault when I got back. This tire, it had plenty of tread on it. It just peeled. So, got another new tire on there. Granted, we're out of a stud, but it is what it is. These lifting blocks here that you can back over didn't quite get me up tall enough for this tire to come up off the ground, so I had to use the truck jack to get it up off the ground. So we'll get that down, get everything put back up and loaded back up and get back on the road. So there's the tire. Well, we got that changed just in time. Always keep hand cleaner in the truck, paper towels. That way, if there's any kind of mishap where I gotta crawl under the truck, I can get cleaned up at least and not get it all over my steering wheel and stuff. So get washed up here and get ready to go. But just got that done just in time. It just now started raining, so cleaned up, tires on. Stupid tires. Anyway, I guess July is my tire month. Well, while we're sat here jib-jabbing, whatever, doing a little bit of a talk about stuff, I figured, why not just say about the last video? You know, last video was rated R. That's the way I titled it. Reason I did that, I could have cut all that out, but if you guys want the reality, it's not all, you know, dandelions and sunflowers out here, whatever you want to say. I mean, you run into issues, and I can take a lot. You know, I can take a lot. Man, that guy really triggered me. And if I offended anyone, I ain't apologizing for it because it's the way it is. But anyway, we're done. We're going to get back on the road here and get this stuff delivered in Spotsville and head to Paducah. So, let's get to it.
Well, that scratch is making me itch.
Well, it's Tuesday morning. Yesterday I dropped off in Spotsville, got rid of the pipes and or those bars, and rearranged the trailer. So we've got a skid on, the 3 light towers, and those hangers. Recap from yesterday: we had a blowout, or a tire shred. It didn't blow out, I guess. My AC quit in the truck. I already messed around with it, figured out what it was. I'll show you. Blower motor took a poopy, so I pulled it off last night and took a screwdriver and cleaned up right where the brushes ride. You can get to it if you pull this vent tube off. So I had this all out here. To get this thing to work, it's just so wore out. To get it to work, I had to shove a screwdriver down in here and wrap the band on it to hold pressure on it. So it works for now, until this morning, because it was hot. This was done at about 2 a.m. I just couldn't sleep. It's way too hot. So I idled the truck all night, high idle. Got up this morning and shut the truck down, of course, because I didn't bring a spare key. Shut the truck down, went inside here to the rest area, used the restroom, come back out, pop the hood, check fluids, all that stuff, go start the truck. Batteries are dead. So I'm not too far from the job site. I'm like 5 miles from the job site. Just called them. They're going to send somebody down, give me a jump start. So that's how my trip to Paducah, Kentucky's going right now. Once we get it fired up, I'll leave the truck running and see what else is going to happen. So we'll have to check, make sure. It's going to be one of two things. I didn't look this morning to see if it was charging or not when I got up, wiping my eyes still. Didn't bother looking at anything but the fuel gauge. So we'll get her fired up and get this stuff delivered. Figure out what's going on, whether it's batteries or if it's the alternator, whatever. Oh yeah, to top it all off, my phone quit charging yesterday, so hopefully it's just the charger in the truck. And my radio was on the fritz, so I don't really quite know what's happening on this trip, but damn it, enough's enough. I'm ready to get back on the road and do some work. Now, this old girl does great. This is the first time ever having any kind of issue like this out of this truck since I've had it. And you know what? If it's just things, if parts are dying, I understand. Like the heater motor or the blower motor here is probably original. I don't think it's ever been changed out. The alternator, it was new when I got the truck, so it's just over a year old. Of course, it's probably a reman. I don't know, but I don't know how old the batteries are. These are the batteries that were in the truck when I bought it, so it could just need a couple batteries or something. So, well, like I said, we'll figure it out after we get it jumped and get the load off. We'll go to the parts store and kind of hang out there and get it done and do whatever we got to do. So as soon as he gets here to jump it, we'll get this going. All right, really can't tell you where I'm at, but I got everything unloaded. There is no backhaul like there was supposed to be, but got the alternator off. Pretty simple, man. 13mm socket, 10mm socket, 1/2-inch ratchet to be able to get the belt tensioner loose, and that's all it is. 3 bolts, a nut, and a plug. So we got it off. Parts availability is pretty good for this truck. Should be cheap enough. Get an alternator put on today. Get the while we're at it, we're just going to go ahead and change out the blower motor. It's in stock, which is amazing on a 21-year-old truck. So we'll get all this handled, get back on the road. Brand new shiny alternator. Got a new blower motor. Just waiting on a jump start and we'll get on the road. Can't wait. I am burning up. Almost back to Elizabethtown, Kentucky right now, headed back toward the house. We do not have a backhaul. I believe I done told you guys that, whatever. It's being repaired, the boat's being repaired down there locally instead of coming back up here to the facility. Anyway, got a jump start on the truck and it still wasn't charging. Battery light was still on. So messed around with it for a little bit, trying to get it to start charging. Couldn't make it happen. Ended up taking the alternator back off. I even pulled the batteries out, the old batteries, and went back to the parts store. Took batteries with me in the alternator. Had the alternator retested. Everything's still checked out fine with the alternator. Ended up checking the batteries out, trying to get them to actually charge or take a charge, whatever, and they just weren't having it. The batteries were junk. One battery was at 55 amps, was the best we could do, and the other battery was at 77 amps at its best. So, bought a couple batteries. It's $350 for 2 batteries. Come back, put the alternator back on, put the batteries back on. Figured we'd get on our way, start heading back. But as soon as I hooked the batteries up, went to start the truck, checked the dash, battery light's still on. Truck wasn't charging. So, started messing around with it again. While the truck was running, I was moving the plug on the alternator. It feels tight. Everything feels good. Everything's not, it's not corroded or anything like that. Plug in. It feels good and tight, but dicking around with that made it start charging. It's not charging perfectly. The light was, in and out on the, it'd go bright and dim, bright and dim. Started messing around with it a little bit more. Tried putting it up to the RPMs that I run going down the road to see what it looked like. And by the time everything was said and done, the battery light is on very faintly. I wouldn't be able to show it to you unless it was nighttime. It's that faint, but it is on. So, with new batteries, I decided to roll the dice, knowing that it's somewhat charging and it's daylight. I decided to roll the dice, go ahead and leave the job site down there, and start headed back toward Ohio. I've got a 6.5, 7 hour drive to get back. So like I said, we're just approaching Elizabethtown. We're almost there within the next 3 miles. I have noticed the voltage on the batteries drop a little. It's not worrisome yet. Hopefully I make it all the way back. I think the voltage regulator is bad on the truck. Probably original. I don't know. I don't even know where it's located on the truck. Probably up against the firewall somewhere. So we'll have to figure that out, do some tests, see if that's it. If it is, we'll go ahead and swap it out and put it with a new one, and hopefully be back up and running. So, hopefully I make it back to Ohio, back to the house. If not, you'll be seeing me on the side of the road, full video, whatever. But that's what's happening so far. Things do happen out here on the road. This trip has been a crazy trip for me, and I'm fine with it. Whatever. Between a trailer tire, we have a trailer tire, a blower motor, 2 batteries, an alternator, and several jump starts. So, it's just the luck of the draw. Now, you guys are probably wondering, I probably just ate up all my profits, on this front. Not really. I still profited pretty decent. I had two drops, different locations, along with picking things up, in 3 different locations, 4 different locations, 3 different locations, I guess. But anyway, it paid out pretty decent. All in all, we're just under $1,000 as far as fixing everything. It's what it is. This happens. Whatever. you just pick yourself up and keep moving forward. That's all you can do. So that's what we're doing. Like I said, we're here in Elizabethtown now, getting ready to get back up, head toward Louisville, and get back to the house. So that's the plan. We'll catch you back when something happens here. All right, so I told you I'd keep you updated on what's going on. We made it to Louisville, Kentucky, and the voltage started dropping off real quick. So pulled into an O'Reilly's here in the south end of town, and grabbed my jumper cables real quick. I wanted to try something. So I threw the cables, the hot side back here where the positive post on the back of the alternator, hooked it to the battery. I also hooked the ground up too, you know, it doesn't matter whether you do it or not. But I did. I hooked the ground up, and now we are carrying voltage. That's where she needs to be. That's where I started out. It was all the way down on this line, just right there at my fingernail when I pulled in here. I was rolling the dice. I think what I'm going to end up doing is I'll buy a couple eyelets, and I have wire. I might even have eyelets, I don't know. But I'm going to run, I think I'm just going to build a wire on the back side of here, tie it on, and come down to the hot side of my post here, the positive side, and hook it up. I'm going to do that. If I need a jump, they'll jump start me and get back on the road. But I mean, that's working, so you know, it's pretty crazy. If I could tuck all this under there and close the hood and think I'd be fine, I would. But we'll build a wire. Like I said, build a wire, get it out here, put everything together, see what happens. Okay, if this doesn't work, I don't know what will, but for now, they didn't have the part that I need, so I just ran a wire, built a wire from here, right on around to the back stud of the alternator. It is charging right now. Show you. There you go. It's charging, so hopefully that works. If not, I don't know what to do. So we are headed back out of here. Like I said, we are in Louisville, Kentucky. We got about 3.5 hours to go until we get back to the house, so hopefully it'll last that long. Well, the adventure keeps getting better. There's my wire. It finally burned up. I made it to Cincinnati. I'm at the old rest area on 275 over on the east side of Cincinnati. Made it back into Ohio. So right now what I'm doing is I'm charging my batteries off of the alternator. I'll charge them up and go as far as I can, charge them up again. I'll eventually make it home. So that's this right here will work in a pinch. This was too small of a wire, of course. I believe to do that setup that I did with this wire, you would actually need battery cable size wire. They do make an old style 3, just one simple wire that comes off of the alternator, and you hit the throttle to excite it and to make it start charging. And what you do is you eliminate the plug. It just comes directly off the alternator, directly to your battery, and charges that way. I've got an 83 Chevy that's set up that way. But anyway, it's happening. It's not too bad of a evening out here. We'll eventually make it to the house.